According to some people, beauty is inside, not outside. Of course, everyone is unwilling to accept it. Philosopher Plato wrote, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder." There are many advanced makeup available today to show that off. Yes, they are in beauty in fashion shows, but in the past they were nothing. Then how was the beauty brought up? So today, we will know what was makeup like in history, some weird beauty trends toward the history, and some harmful makeup could have resulted in death. So, this is the History Facts Show and you're watching Strange Beauty Trends Throughout the History. Before we start, subscribe the History Facts Show and let me know which historical unknown topic you want to hear next. So, let's get ready with makeup. Arsenic is the substance was very famous in the past. It is well known as healer and poisoner throughout the history. Around the 19th century, some women started wearing this type of makeup. They started bringing skin tones like translucent, which attracted many at that time. But to get this attractive look at that time, they started eating arsenic. Today we know just how harmful arsenic is, but at that time, most shops in Europe as well as US sold arsenic ignoring its harmful effects. As a result of eating arsenic for a few days, many women started to develop vomiting, thyroid gland problems, even cancer due to arsenic poisoning. Of course, no one wants to die now by eating arsenic. They did not calm down by simply eating or applying arsenic. In the Victorian era, girls began to bathe in arsenic because they believed it would give them milky white skin. It was like an addiction. Once they started, they couldn't stop. They continued this toxic process until their death. Eating arsenic in the morning, rubbing it on the face, and bathing in arsenic water. Let's go. You have seen this kind of trend before. If you watch any historical movie, you will understand that there was a strange beauty trend from 1400s to 1700s. Girls thought that the whiter the face, the more attractive she would be. Because in the 1700s, according to the British, a girl's face was a destiny. However, girls mainly apply a mixture of white lead and vinegar on their face. As a result, the face looked white like a ghost. Don't be afraid. Girls use these not only be white on their own, but to cover the scars and acne. As a result of excessive use of this stuff, girls' skin starts to rot, more scars develop, and paralysis occurs. In many cases, and sometimes, it led to death. Weird beauty trends like teeth blackening were mainly seen in Asia and South America. However, according to many historians, it was more common in Japan. It started a long time ago in Japan and lasted for a long time. According to historians, it started about 8th century in Japan and lasted till 19th century. It wasn't just beauty culture, rather it selects the class in the society. In other words, doing this signified a girl's sexual maturity and wealth. It continued until the 19th century when it was abolished by the government. Then this beauty trend is changed in an instant. Then the new beauty trend was whiter the teeth, the more attractive she will be. It was mainly medical processing, that is the bloodletting. Through the bloodletting, the body was freed from various diseases at that time. It was very common but started to decline in importance from the 19th century onwards. However, bloodletting was common during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I, or the Virgin Queen, loved to paint her face ghostly white. Not only Elizabeth but almost everyone during the Renaissance period liked this kind of white face. But there is an easy way to get this royal look, that is, let the leeches to suck the blood or through the bloodletting. The Victorian era was very strange, as you all know. From weird food to weird activities and weird makeup. The corset was too tight at the time, so that the waist looked too small at the time. According to them, it looked good on girls. Be that as it may, they didn't just tie the corset and come down. They wanted to keep the weight down. Everyone wants that nowadays, but the Victorian found a solution to this problem. That is tapeworm pills. They took a pill that contained tapeworm eggs. According to them, the tapeworm will eat most of what female eats and keep her underweight. And with this method, the person can eat as much as she wants, but not gain weight. This beauty trend was very popular during the Victorian era. Girls loved tuberculosis because the disease resulted in white skin, red lips and thin waist. They either took the disease willingly or tried to look like the result of the disease. Putting arsenic on the face or other harmful chemicals and tying the corset too tight would lead to various physical problems. But of all, This look was very trendy at that time. Atropa belladonna, or also known as the belladonna plant, is a toxic plant found mainly in Ireland and Ukraine. Its use can cause various diseases in the human body, like cardiovascular problem, gastrointestinal disorders, pregnancy disorders, and many more. But during the Renaissance era, girls would take poison from this belladonna plant and spray it into their eyes. As a result, their eyes would look like this. To them, it was an example of great beauty. But scientists think this would cause not only eye problem but also heart problems. Spraying large amounts of this stuff into the eyes would blind many women. The Renaissance era is considered an important era in history, but it's also so interesting for other things, including weird beauty trends. Dimple has always been very popular. History has not been different, but this dimple has gone to another stage in history. They invented Dimple's tamper machine. Is you heard right? In 1936, Isabella Gilbert invented a machine known as Dimple's tamper machine, which consisted of a face-fitting spring carrying two tapered knobs pressed against the cheeks, taking the train to dimples to a whole new level. According to many, it could have created dimples. Weird, right? It is. This one is horrifying. Yeah, it is. During 1000 BCE, ancient minds with their children's skulls were a little different. They used to complete this process through a special machine. They start this process from a young age, which results in a radical change in their skull as they grow up and their heads become a bit elongated. So, in your opinion, which makeup in history is your favorite? Would you like these beauty trends at that time? What I said through this video was the makeup and beauty at that time. Strange beauty, I guess. Many people died as a result of this strange beauty, but these were common at that time, what we call trending today. Okay, find out what people did during the bubonic plague and 5 historical murder mysteries that may never be solved.